Mexican OT just detonated his own career, dropping a defiant, racially charged statement that ignited backlash across the hip-hop world. Now, Sauce Walker, his loudest defender, has completely reversed his stance, leaving OT isolated and Walker caught in a firestorm of credibility loss. This isn't just controversy, it's a full-blown fracture in rap alliances that's forcing fans and artists alike to pick sides. The controversy began when Mexican OT appeared on a podcast with female hosts and made statements that would later ignite a firestorm across social media. During the interview, when asked about Hispanic people using the N-word, Mexican OT responded with what many considered a direct challenge to the black community.
I wish there was some black dudes in here.
There are. We're right there. And this one right here is not.
Okay, well, we're gonna use him. What the fuck are you gonna do about it, you know?
He said, "I wish there was some black dudes in here. What the f are you gonna do about it?" Mexican OT attempted to justify his position by explaining his background and relationships within the black community.
I grew up eating with them. I grew up fucking doing bad shit with them. I grew up loving with them.
I grew up loving these motherfuckers. Grew up fighting with them. I grew up eating with them. I grew up fing bad bees with them. I grew up loving with them. He continued by claiming that his experiences gave him the right to use the word, saying,
it's like I done went to the jungle and earned the lion's head. Mm-hmm. You know?
I feel like a lot of people that are from Latino descent here in New York feel that same way. Mm-hmm. The Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans.
I mean, shit. I mean, and not even trying to justify it, but shit, y'all just got dropped off before us. That's all it is.
Y'all got dropped off first. It's crazy.
We from the same boat.
It's like I done went to the jungle and earned a lion's head. Y'all just got dropped off before us. That's all it is. We got dropped off first. We from the same boat. However, it was the confrontational tone and direct challenge that drew the most criticism. Mexican OT specifically looked around the room and noted the absence of black men before making his provocative statement, which many interpreted as deliberately choosing a safe space to make controversial remarks. The initial public reaction was swift and largely negative. The black community responded with widespread criticism across social media platforms, with many calling out both the use of the word and the disrespectful manner in which Mexican OT presented his position. The debate quickly expanded beyond the specific incident to broader discussions about cultural appropriation, respect, and who has the right to use certain language. Sauce Walker immediately stepped forward as Mexican OT's primary defender when the controversy began trending. His response was notably aggressive and caught many people by surprise with its intensity. Sauce Walker defended Mexican OT's right to use the N-word and made his own controversial comparison, equating saying the N-word with eating a taco. This comparison was widely criticized as absolutely moronic by observers who found the analogy both inappropriate and tone-deaf. The context behind Sauce Walker's defense revealed potential business motivations. Texas has a large Hispanic community, and the hip-hop consumer base in Texas is majority Hispanic. As a hip-hop artist himself, Sauce Walker's aggressive defense was seen by many as pandering to this demographic rather than taking a principled stance. His position as Mexican OT's right-hand man made him the most prominent black voice defending the controversial statements. The situation took a dramatic turn when Sauce Walker appeared on an interview with D Project and completely reversed his position. Less than a week after his initial defense, Sauce Walker claimed he had not seen the full context of Mexican OT's statements and that his opinion had changed after viewing the complete clip.
See now, at first when I was speaking on what I was speaking on, I was only talking about the shit I seen on Say Cheese with the good and all that, Say Cheese.
Sauce Walker explained during his Backtrack interview. He claimed that after his friend showed him exactly verbatim what Mexican OT said on the interview on the podcast, he realized his mistake in defending the statements. However, this excuse immediately drew skepticism from observers who pointed out several inconsistencies. The original clip was only a minute long and had been trending across social media platforms. More importantly, Mexican OT made his most controversial statements, including the "what the F you going to do about it" challenge, within the first few seconds of the clip. Critics argued that it would have been impossible for Sauce Walker to mount such a vigorous defense without seeing the content he was defending. The flip-flopping has created significant consequences for both men involved. From a character perspective, the incident highlights the difference between standing by convictions and changing positions based on public backlash. Many observers noted that while they might disagree with someone's stance on controversial issues, they could respect consistency and principled positions. However, changing positions after facing consequences suggests a lack of genuine conviction. Strategically, Sauce Walker's reversal has alienated both sides of the debate. Mexican OT supporters now feel betrayed by his change of position, viewing him as someone who abandoned his friend when facing pressure. Meanwhile, the original critics still don't accept him despite his changed stance, as they view his initial defense as revealing his true character. This has left Sauce Walker isolated from both camps and has likely damaged his reputation in the black community and beyond. The controversy has also drawn responses from other quarters of the hip-hop community. A podcast called Viral Way, featuring Long Beach Crips, addressed the situation with strong criticism. One host stated,
"I better chill out with all that N-word stuff. I just seen
Mexican OT. I knew this was coming.
had an interview. 2 black chicks asked him, do you think Hispanics should be able to say the N-word? He says, man, I wish it was some black dudes in here right now. Look around, spit
Black dude.
They say, it was a black dude right there. He said, okay, cool. If I do say it, what the f gonna do about it? And this is why I don't give no passes. It ain't even the fact that you grew up with blacks. It ain't the fact that the blacks you grew up with accept you saying it. It's the fact that you cocky and basically acting like all blacks, period, is just marks and ain't finna do nothing for you saying it.
I better chill out with all that N-word stuff. I just seen OT. I knew this was coming. It ain't even the fact that you grew up with blacks. It ain't the fact that the blacks you grew up with accept you saying it. It's the fact that you cocky and basically acting like all blacks, period, is just marks and ain't going to do nothing for you saying it. The Long Beach response emphasized that the problem wasn't necessarily the word usage itself, but the disrespectful challenge embedded in Mexican OT's statements. What you mean, what the F we going to do? What you trying to say? One host responded, indicating their readiness to crash Mexican OT for the perceived disrespect. However, the reality of gang politics in California presents a more complex picture. The Mexican mafia's influence in California has created intricate relationships between black and Mexican gang members. Many black gang members have historically given passes to Mexican associates who grew up in their neighborhoods and participated in gang activities. This creates a contradiction where the same people expressing outrage over Mexican OT statements might simultaneously accept similar language from Mexican gang members in their own circles. The fear factor surrounding the Mexican mafia's reputation also influences these dynamics. Some observers noted that while California gang members talk about pressing the line regarding Mexican rappers using the N-word, their track record suggests otherwise. The question arises, where has this energy been for other Mexican rappers who have used similar language over the years? Set affiliations often trump racial lines in gang dynamics, making the situation more complicated than simple racial boundaries might suggest. Some observers suggested that FOI, Fruit of Islam, members would be more likely to press Mexican gang members or rappers for using the N-word than traditional gang members, due to their ideological commitments rather than street affiliations. When examining the broader impact, Mexican OT's real fan base is primarily Hispanic, not black. This demographic reality raises questions about whether a black boycott would significantly hurt his career prospects. The regional differences between Texas, California, and national appeal also factor into the equation, as do the industry dynamics of who actually supports and promotes his music. The incident offers lessons about navigating sensitive cultural conversations. Context matters when discussing controversial topics, and respecting who you're talking to remains crucial for maintaining relationships across different communities. There's a significant difference between earned passes from close friends and making public challenges to entire racial groups. Sauce Walker's flip-flopping has damaged relationships on both sides of the controversy, while Mexican OT's challenge was unnecessarily provocative and disrespectful to many in the black community. The ongoing fallout continues to affect both artists' careers and relationships within the hip-hop community, serving as a case study in how quickly controversies can escalate and how difficult it can be to recover from poorly handled public relations situations.